that Mary went. The little lamb followed her. He followed her to school one day, Mary little lamb followed her to school one day.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Can you talk with me today?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Tell me what you got to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You're so informative and fun.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Yeah, you're the one.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You're the voice of reason.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Indescribable yet pleasing.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
What's the scoop today in your battle for truth, justice, and the American way? Home health and politics. Conspiracy theories or karate kicks. Intelligent discussions on the issues of the day. But tell them not to call unless they got something to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
What's the word for now?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Can you tell me how?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Will our team win? I guess it depends on what shape they're in. Home health or politics, conspiracy theories or cement bricks, intelligent discussions on the issues of the day. Tell them not to call unless they got something to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you're really cool.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You ain't nobody's fool.
Hello, Uncle
You live by the golden rule. When there's a fiery discussion, you supply the fuel.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you're really hip.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You don't take no lip.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you got it under control. If there's one thing you got, it's a lot of soul. On the thing we like about you, Uncle Henry, if you have a caller who's particularly pugnacious, quarrelsome, contentious, belligerent, truculent, or scathingly harsh, you simply disconnect the lines of communication. Oh, yeah. In other words, you hang up on the fool. Yeah. You're the Duke of Decorum, the Prince of Propriety, the Emperor of Excellence, the Sultan of Sensibility, and the Maharaja of Magnificence. Ba-do-do-do-do-do.
Uncle Henry.
Oh, yeah.
We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. I will return.
Message deleted. Press.
Roll Tide.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Any word of a crash with road blockage east Olive Road at Kipling in Pensacola? Crews are still on the scene of a crash on the Bayway east on I-10. Left lane is blocked, approaching the Daphne exit. From I-65 to the Eastern Shore, it's about an hour and 42-minute delay. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of the origin of how basketball came to be. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Roll Tide, huh? Well, Uncle, where has this month gone? Wow.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Yes, I know you're still shocked I'm still here, but yes, I'm still here, still doing the show. And I thank you for tuning in just to see if I'm here. Once again, here we are together, me and you, trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on in the world around us? There's a lot going on in the world around us. We can talk about all that stuff. If you'd like to call in with something, feel free to bring it in. As long as your topic is not pornographic, feel free to call in. 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. I got plenty of things I want to bring up to you today that I've been thinking about. Before I get to any of that, though, I had a phone call from a listener stuck in traffic. Yes, somebody using the voicemail while they were stuck in traffic, I believe. Let's find out.
So tied up and happy, Rocktober to you, buddy.
Happy Rocktober?
Yes, sir. Rocktober, one of our favorite months of the year. Sitting here on the bridge, headed back from Mobile, doing 7 miles per hour right now. The marquee above the bridge reads, crash in the left lane, 3.9 miles ahead. Let's see, and I ain't made it to the battleship just yet, have I? Or have I? Let's see. Well, regardless, it looks like that 3.9 miles, it might as well be 139 miles. It's going to take a minute to get there. So, life in Mobile on the Bay Bridge. Roll Tide Roll.
Roll Tide Roll. 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley getting caught in some traffic this afternoon on the Bayway. And I want to thank 68-year-old Chris for using his time on the Bayway to do something productive, which was call the Uncle Henry Show voicemail and fill up. See, we've already filled up time in this segment from that one call that really will have no significance in our lives. It still took up time on the program, and that's important. The voicemail number is 251-216-1976. And you think about getting stuck in traffic on the Bayway. It's happened to many of us through the years as our politicians of the past did not adequately anticipate the volume of traffic that we would get going across that bay. And so they never provided the proper infrastructure. All those politicians of the past, that was also lousy because they just didn't provide the proper infrastructure. And so we've had to deal with their incompetence through the years by trying to figure out what to do with our time while we're sitting in traffic on the Bayway in a traffic jam. Now, many people get frustrated. Many people get very frustrated and upset because they're on their way somewhere important. Maybe they're even passing a gallstone or something and they need to get somewhere where they can more easily pass it. I understand your frustration, but there are things you can do. You can sit in your vehicle or just putt along at 7 miles per hour. And I guess the best use of that time would be to pray to the Lord. You could pray to the Lord that everybody on the Bayway gets to their journey safely and that the Lord brings harmony and peace to the world and that he heals all the diseases in the world and that the politicians of the future will not make terrible decisions that the politicians of the past have made, as we have seen all around us. We live among those bad decisions. All that you see, so prayer would be number one. You can pray while you're on there. You can meditate. You can count your blessings. There's certainly things to be, if you are able to navigate a vehicle, you have some level of health. So there's a lot you can do. You can, while you're stuck in your traffic. And now you can add to the list behind prayer and expressions of gratitude. You can also call the Uncle Henry Show voicemail at 251-216-1976 whenever you're stuck in those traffic jams. Chris, thank you for that. And it's only, we're led to believe that allegedly a bridge will be built. I told you that I've already met contractors that have moved here to work on this thing. So eventually it'll be a different type of traffic jam, I'm sure. And this will be something that we share together, this memory of those days where we had to sit in that traffic. Now, what can we get into here? There was a party last night. I saw this party on Fox 10 News. Yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the Zogby Act that created the form of government for the city of Mobile. And I heard the party announced at yesterday's Mobile City Council meeting, and it kind of confused me because I didn't remember being invited as a citizen, as a taxpayer that pays for the government. I don't remember being invited to a party being held for the current and former elected officials and bureaucrats. I believe this is Fox 10 reporting on this party held at the Mobile History Museum, the original City Hall down there.
Today marks 40 years since the Zogby Act. That's what reshaped Mobile's city government. Now tonight, former and current city leaders gathered.
Former and current city leaders gathered at a party
at the History Museum of Mobile to celebrate the anniversary. Before the Zogby Act, the port city was governed by a 3-member city commission, which collectively shared power. The 1985 law developed Mobile's current council-mayor form of government, allowing for a more diverse political scene, ensuring districts were given a more powerful voice. Sam Jones, the first African-American mayor of Mobile, was one of the former mayors who celebrated tonight.
So I think it really is something that really changed the whole landscape of the city. It gave people individual representatives for their particular district, gave voices to people who never had a voice in the past, and there were a lot of people who worked very hard on this, I would say almost 20 years to get it to the point of being a piece of legislation.
All right, so there was a nice party for former elected officials and bureaucrats. Now, I'm going to make an assumption. I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to assume that private money paid for this. I'm going to have to make that assumption because if it was tax dollars, then that would be, of course, outrageous. It would be outrageous if tax dollars paid for a party for politicians and bureaucrats that the actual taxpayer was not allowed to attend. That would be, I'm going to assume that it was private money. Certainly no current politicians would agree to use tax dollar to do a private party for politicians. So whoever the private donor was that paid for that party, congratulations.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Any word of a crash with road blockage east Olive Road at Kipling in Pensacola? Crews are still on the scene of a crash on the Bayway east on I-10. Left lane is blocked, approaching the Daphne exit. From I-65 to the Eastern Shore, it's about an hour and 42-minute delay. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored.
YouTube viewers. Hello, YouTubers. Bama Big Man, hello to you. KP of shortbutter.com. Continuing with jiu-jitsu. KP, will eventually, as an older jiu-jitsu, as you continue with jiu-jitsu and you become an older jiu-jitsu, will you eventually just stand in a mirror and jiu-jitsu yourself? That sounds like the safest way for an older person to do the jiu-jitsu, is to just do it in a mirror. Richard Harvey, hello to you. Norman Richardson, hello to you. The Love Freak 69, hello to you with your very provocative name in the chat. Pat Nelly, hello to you. Thank you all for looking in, the small number of people looking in on YouTube. And thank you to those who have subscribed on YouTube. It's been such a pleasure to see the subscription numbers slowly inch upward, very slowly. Now, going to be back on the radio in about 3 minutes. Pat Nelly, bless you, back. Let's all be blessed. I'm going to be back on the radio in just a few minutes with a bunch of junk that I'm going to talk about, voicemails and things like that. Let me see if there's anything I can share with you, any weird news items. Oh, I saw that there's a woman on the West Coast that her job is professional baby namer. And already, hats off to her. She's created her own. She's created a job that really didn't exist, and she's making good money doing it. Her name is Taylor Humphrey, professional baby namer, hired by narcissists that are too stupid to name their own children. Now, the basic package is $200, where she will send you some personalized name recommendations through email that include the meanings, origins, spelling variations, popularity, history, and vibes of each name. That's about $200 to get her email that'll help you name your baby if you're a dumb narcissist. But there is, for the people that are extremely narcissist and also very stupid, she has the VIP packages that start at $10,000. I want to meet her, or at least see an interview with her, because this sounds like a smart person. She has persuaded people to give her $10,000 to help them name their baby. Now, what is VIP? Well, VIP services include identifying a unique name aesthetic, baby name branding, getting a genealogist to come up with a list of names from parts of your family tree, also hiring a think tank to brainstorm name options. Now, what would you do if you're wealthy and you spend $10,000 for a baby name professional, and she comes back to you after about a month and says, I've done all the numbers? I think Bill. I think really Bill would be your best bet. Would they get mad? They'd probably say Bill with a B? Yes, Bill with a B. Professional baby namer. She's created money out of nothing.
Check. Traffic and weather? Check. Opinions? Check. This is the Uncle Henry Show, only on News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. It's 5:20. I'm Uncle Henry, in case you were wondering if I was filling in for him. I'm not. I am Uncle Henry. News headlines are coming up in 10 minutes from Fox 10 and from Fox Radio National News. So if you crave news headlines, if you can just make it through this segment of the show, you will be rewarded by professionals reading news headlines to you. It is a new month, October. 68-year-old Chris left a voicemail saying it's Rocktober. I just want you to know that I'm not participating in Rocktober. I'm not. I don't rock during Rocktober. Now, let me get to I've got a lot of things that I would like to talk about, but I've also got some voicemails, and I like to hear what you've got to say, because I already know what I would say. I'm more interested in what you would say. Let me say one thing. Before I go to voicemails, one thing. I want to tell you what has been distracting today. Because I've been very blessed today to have a very busy day doing the 95 KSJ show, and I had to go out and meet with a doctor today and record a special Ask the Expert interview with a doctor that's going to air later today, and just been all over the town, meeting with some business people here and there. Very blessed to be busy. But I've been distracted. I've been super distracted today because I find myself wanting to go on social media to see if President Trump has created a new meme or shared a new meme of Hakeem Jeffries wearing a sombrero. Now, I don't know if you're following this, but President Trump shared a meme this week of Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries at a press conference, and somebody decided this government shutdown, there's a big argument over whether or not illegal aliens should get their medical care paid for by the taxpayer. And somebody created a meme with Hakeem Jeffries wearing a sombrero and having a big mustache. And this outraged Hakeem Jeffries. It outraged him. And he went on to MSNBC to complain about it, how bigoted it was. It was bigoted. The wrong hat. Now you may not realize this. You might be like me. I'm ignorant of the modern rules of what you can and cannot do. And I didn't realize some hats, you can put one hat on somebody on social media and it's okay. But if you put the wrong hat, you put the wrong hat on them. What are you? Are you human? Putting the wrong hat on somebody? Well, somebody put a sombrero on him, and oh boy, they were mad. Well, then, by the way, if President Trump makes fun of you, the worst thing you can do is bitterly complain about it. Because today, when I got up, I saw that there had been a new meme created that President Trump had shared. He didn't create it, but he shared it. And the meme, you may have seen it already, was Hakeem Jeffries on MSNBC complaining about the original meme. And then the new meme put another sombrero on him as a mariachi band of Donald Trump's played behind him. Now, I was distracted all day because I just found this enormously entertaining. I never realized that the federal government could also entertain me in this way. I've been mad at the federal government for years and years and years, practically my whole life, for a variety of very good reasons. Rarely have I been entertained by it. I think I might have been entertained during the bicentennial celebration back in '76. I don't know if I have been since. Now I want to know, has the president shared a new sombrero meme? And I will be looking later after the show. That's what I'm looking for. I will miss this. Whoever the next presidents end up being, if we're allowed to have presidents in the future, they probably won't be sharing sombrero memes. Anyway, that's been distracting me today. Just wanting to check, wanting to see, wanting to enjoy, wanting to see. Also wanting to see if there's more silly crying and whining and complaining about it, which is almost as funny as the actual original meme. Hello, caller.
Hey, good evening, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, you are live on the radio.
Okay, Henry, I really don't know what he's mad about. The Democrat Party, they always claiming they somebody who they aren't. This Mandani dude, on his college application up there in one of the Ivy League colleges in New York, he listed his ethnicity as black and Asian.
Okay.
So, and what you call it, she just said she was part Indian.
Elizabeth Warren, yes.
So, hey, Obama said he was black, but he spent most of his high school years, his young school years in Muslim schools, but he say he's black. So I don't know what they get mad about. They're always saying something they're not.
Well, I think they were mad because it was funny.
Oh yeah, well,
they're mad because somebody like me is looking forward to the next one.
It's funny when they say things, Uncle Henry. I almost spit my grits when this lady said that if you commit a crime, that don't make you a criminal. I almost spit my grits out that morning I heard that.
Yes.
So, Jasmine Crockett and all these people, they always saying something funny.
They are. I think you mentioned Mom Donnie. I think he gave a press conference once where he said that violence was not a real thing or something like that. He's saying something like violence is an artificial construct or something, claiming that violence didn't even exist.
And the mayor now was saying that they don't need police protection. We don't need anything like that. What we need is affordable housing. We need $800 million for affordable houses, not crime. Everything they say is funny. You have a blessed day, okay?
You too, Cliff, thank you. You have blessed my day with your phone call. Yes. Yes, indeed. But I have learned, this has taught me to be careful with sombreros because I would like somebody to come up with a chart of the hats, what hats are most offensive. What hats, if you put them on somebody's head, if you Photoshop a hat on somebody, what is the most, just give me a chart so I can know which hat. I don't want to get fired or anything like that. So I need to make sure that I don't ever put the wrong hat on somebody. Even in a drawing or something, even if I'm doodling on a piece of paper, I got to be careful with it because evidently send somebody into some incredible tizzy on national television, upset that somebody put a hat on them. Let's see. Going to be taking a time out for traffic and weather and words from our sponsors and then more Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Would love to get your phone calls. I already have some voicemails I'll be getting to on a variety of topics. Voicemail number 251-216-1976 if you want to leave me a message after the show. Maybe you've got some type of hat math. Maybe you can tell me about hats in a voicemail later this evening. 251-216-1976.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Watch for heavy congestion remaining on the Bayway east on I-10. Got an accident in the left lane approaching the Daphne exit. And from I-65 to the Eastern Shore, it's a 40-minute delay. Also, watch for an accident Sorrento Road at Blue Angel Parkway. And an accident Airport Boulevard at Hillcrest. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Cue the easy button because it's almost easy deal days at Staples. Starting October 5th, enjoy 7 days of savings on over 1,000 products online and in your local Staples store. From tech, chairs, luggage, and more. Get a sneak peek of all the deals at Staples.com. Staples, that was easy.
I love the idea of going into Chicago, Baltimore, other cities with high crime rates and trying to see, hey, can we save some more lives?
Work it with Clay and Buck. Weekdays at 11 on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Hello, I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. A vote to end the government shutdown hours after it started failed. Democrats in the Senate held firm to the party's demands to fund health care subsidies that President Trump and Republicans refused to provide. Blame was being cast on all sides on the first day of the shutdown. The White House and Congress failed to strike an agreement to keep programs and services open, throwing the country into a new cycle of uncertainty. Mobile police investigating an armed robbery that took place at an ATM on Dauphin Island Parkway last night. Police say it was a little after 10 when officers went to Fulton Grocery after the robbery was reported. Police met with the victim, who told them after withdrawing money from an ATM, someone got near him and demanded money while being armed with a handgun. Police say the suspect ran away before they arrived. The United Way of Southwest Alabama, hosting its annual meeting in downtown Mobile. Former University of Alabama wide receiver Tyrone Prothro was the special guest speaker. Now, these meetings are a great way to keep track of special events and other initiatives the United Way is involved in. That includes its disaster resilience workshops. The fourth workshop will be held on October 14th at the Sims Community Center. Those free workshops are designed to help people be better prepared for emergencies. A special awards ceremony was also held, honoring people and organizations that have made a positive impact on their community. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The government is shut down after Congress failed to pass a spending bill before last night's deadline. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul addressing both parties' concerns on the Fox News channel.
And it was scheduled to expire. That's why it's going to expire, or it would be part of the CR. Whether or not illegal aliens get these benefits is a debatable question. There may be written rules that say they shouldn't, but the question is, do they?
Israel and several Middle Eastern nations agreeing to a U.S. plan to end the war with Hamas in Gaza that would require the creation of a temporary government and the release of hostages and prisoners. UN Ambassador Mike Waltz on the Fox News channel says the only reason Hamas would give up its hostages is because they trust this deal.
It's going to be about making sure this can never happen again.
President Trump said he would back Israel's plan if Hamas doesn't agree. America's listening to Fox News.
Gulf Coast. All right, YouTube viewers, let me see if anybody's still watching before I get back to whatever. Well, oh, yeah, I'm doing a show. I forgot about that. Let me see. Guess I'm getting a little too relaxed here. Hello to Cindy Phillips. And anyone else there watching on Facebook. Yes, the government is shut down. Isn't that a shame? Now, let's see, what can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? Going to be back on the radio here in about 90 seconds. Let me look in the weird news file. Let's see, there is a podcaster named Ken. His podcast is called Coffee with Ken, and he filed a trademark application for Coffee with Ken and got preliminary approval, but then the Mattel company that makes Barbie dolls challenged it, saying that that trademark would hurt the Ken doll. Mattel argues that it used to sell a barista Ken doll and that people might get confused by the coffee-themed podcast. And so they are in a legal battle. This will go before a judge. Now, the podcast is a big podcast. I mean, he's had guests like the governor of Virginia and stuff like that. So, but Mattel, the moral of the story is don't try to trademark anything with the word Ken in it. And I would stay away from Barbie as well, because Mattel will sue you.
The Uncle Henry Show, live weekday afternoons at 5 on WNTM.
It is 5:35 here on the Uncle Henry Show. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723 to call the Uncle Henry Show with whatever you want to bring forward. We're now in October. Later this month, Saturday, October 18th. It's Wine on the River. Joe Bullard's Wine on the River happens again at the Battleship. If you've never been to Wine on the River, it is a gigantic wine tasting. If you love wine, it's your best chance of the year to try lots and lots of different wines from both national and international vineyards. And they have wine, they have food, they have live music. It is a very fun event. Some of the proceeds are going to be going, I believe, to United Way of Southwest Alabama, Wine on the River. If you want to get tickets for Wine on the River, you can go to wineontherivermobile.com. The reason I'm mentioning this to you today is it's Wine Wednesday, and you can use the code WINE and get $10 off your ticket today only. So go, if you want to get a ticket, wineontherivermobile.com, and today use the code WINE to get $10 off the ticket to Wine on the River. Again, Uncle Henry Show in progress here. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Now, let me go to the Uncle Henry Show voicemail. This phoned in by RT.
Hey, Uncle Henry, this is RT. Uncle Henry, I'm calling because I've had it with these Super Bowl halftime shows. They're getting worse and worse, and they take too much away from the game. This one coming up is obviously anti-Christian, anti-American.
Now, RT, I'm pausing him just for the listener that does not care or give a flip about the Super Bowl or the halftime show. RT is referring to the announcement that a performer named Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime show entertainment for the Super Bowl coming up in February. Bad Bunny, I don't know a lot about Bad Bunny. I've seen a lot of pictures of him, a man wearing different dresses and skirts, dressing in what looks to be female clothes. I understand he is a Latin rapper that does not have any type of song in English. And he canceled his tour of the United States of America to protest immigration enforcement, the enforcement of immigration laws. So it's almost as if the Super Bowl tried to pick. It's like they looked across the land and thought, who could we pick that would irritate people like RT the most? Is there any performer out there that would really make a lot of people mad? Could we pick somebody that would make people mad? How about Bad Bunny, a cross-dressing Latin rapper who is against enforcement of immigration law? So that is what the controversy is about. There's already people up, and in addition to that, there's a lot of videos that are being shared on social media that show Bad Bunny performances that look very much like satanic rituals. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying they kind of resemble them. They might not be satanic, but they might be satanic adjacent. That's all I'm saying. So that's what the controversy is involving. Back to the voicemail from RT about all this.
Hey, this one coming up is obviously anti-Christian, anti-American. So I'm not going to waste any time watching it. I mean, if I watch the Super Bowl at all. But I will, at halftime, shut off all my devices and get away from all media for that hour's worth of halftime show and dedicate it to reading my Bible and praying for the entire, however, and I would like to encourage everybody else to do the same. At this, I think it's a great idea, and if they measure ratings, hopefully that sends a message. Thank you. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide. RT, thank you. What an outstanding suggestion that during the Bad Bunny performance that you turn it off and you read your Bible. It's a wonderful suggestion. I was trying to think, you may remember once upon a time they tried to find musical artists that a lot of people liked. that wouldn't make half of the country angry. They used to try and do that with the Super Bowl, and then things, I don't know when things changed, but they did. But wouldn't it be wonderful if they were to pick, I would think that the best Super Bowl halftime show we could have for the current state of the country right now, to bring us all together, would be to trot out Jelly Roll. Yes, Jelly Roll has sung a bunch of Christian songs. One of his top hits right now on 95 KSJ is the song Hard Fought Hallelujah with Brandon Lake. You could bring Jelly Roll in and have him do some good music, and have him invite Stephen Curtis Chapman up in there in the Super Bowl to play some Christian music. And you could also, you know who's really good? The Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Wouldn't that be a spectacular Super Bowl halftime show, to have Jelly Roll, Stephen Curtis Chapman standing up in front of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir and just singing all these? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Now, I know that maybe I'm sure you probably disagree. You're probably intrigued at a Spanish-speaking cross-dresser. Maybe you'd be more entertained by a Spanish-speaking cross-dresser, and if that's the case, it's still allegedly a free country. But that's who, if I were the NFL, I would be calling Jelly Roll. I'd say you can even bring Post Malone if you can get him to stop cussing. You can bring him, get him to stop cussing. Bring your friends, Brandon Lake. Bring anybody that sings Christian song. Come on. I think that would be wonderful for the country. Instead of trying to pour gasoline on a culture war, wouldn't it be wonderful if they just brought in some people? You know, Dolly Parton, I know her health, she's having some health issues. People just love her. Why not her? Jelly Roll and Dolly. Even if she's ill, they could wheel her out and let her just be there on stage watching from the chair. Why not? Well, instead of dividing the country, why not bring us together? I've been seeing stories about a revival among a lot of athletes this year. Seeing lots of athletes on Facebook and Instagram getting baptized this year. That'd be great. Wouldn't that be something? To have some baptisms. Do that during the Super Bowl halftime show. Turn it into a revival. All right, anyway. RT, thank you again for your voicemail. And you've reminded me, it's October 1st. I have yet to watch any NFL. I've watched some college football this year. Last weekend was, what great college football I got to watch There's so many great games last Saturday. I have yet to turn on an NFL game. I'm not boycotting or anything, at least not yet, but I just hadn't found the time for it. Hey, let me know if anything is going on in the NFL. Maybe they've got some German-speaking cross-dresser or something, or some, I don't know. Just let me know what they got going on, so I'll know whether or not I should watch. All right, look, taking a time out, and then there's more Uncle Henry Show proceeding here on News Radio 710 WNTM. You can find the Uncle Henry Show podcast at our website, newsradio710.com, or on the iHeartRadio app. Look for Uncle Henry Show. I'll be back after this dadgum break.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring.
Crash with injury and road blockage, Lillian Highway at Bauer Road. Also a crash with road blockage, Sorrento Road at South Blue Angel Parkway. A grass fire, I-10 westbound near Theodore Dawes Road. The right lane is blocked, and watch for heavy smoke in the area. Very slow on the Bayway eastbound from I-65 to the Eastern Shore. 41-minute drive time.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Get 2 #1
YouTube viewers, if anybody is left watching on YouTube, thank you for doing it. I appreciate it very, very much on this Wednesday. Let me see what I can tell you about. Well, first let me look. Let me go ahead and see. Because if you're not watching, then I don't have to talk during the commercial break. Yes, there is Chuck, thank you for bringing maturity to the chat room. It helps knowing you're there because it makes me do a better job. Knowing that the standard should be higher. You know, and KP joking about the halftime show. You know, I would rather have elderly jiu-jitsu as a halftime show than Bad Bunny. Let me say middle-aged jiu-jitsu. That would be more entertaining than Bad Bunny. It'd be less frightening than a Bad Bunny halftime show. Let me see what I can tell you about while I'm waiting to go back on the radio here. I'm going to do one more look into the weird news, because that's always my favorite section. Oh, my Lord. Okay, here we go. I found plenty of weird news stories for you. In Brazil, the owner of a farm in Brazil wanted to create something special to attract tourists. This is a lady. The owner of the farm is a lady. She remembered that local people in her part of Brazil have been eating ants for a very long time, leafcutter ants. So she decided to add toasted ants to one of her cheeses. And I don't know how to pronounce what they call the cheese, Tieta Sylvania cheese. Now the cheese with ants in it is winning awards all over the world. Now, do you think it's because it tastes good, or because people just want to promote eating insects? The ants are toasted before being added to the cheese. It's made from raw milk, pasture-raised cows. It has a sweet, firm texture with almond and chestnut flavors, and the ants give it a crunchy texture. It should win an award for most pretentious cheese, don't you think? But this lady, hey, if you're inventing something and they give it awards in France, she's created the equivalent of a Jerry Lewis cheese. Okay, here's another weird story. Got less than a minute. Researchers at the University of British Columbia have created the first prototype toilet that is powered by mushrooms, and it requires no water. The design turns your human waste into a nutrient-rich compost using a network of mushroom fungi. There's no word. It says that the mushrooms absorb the odors. Maybe we need some mushrooms. Maybe I need a mushroom right now.
iHeartRadio app, now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. It is 5:50. You can also hear me on FM radio. I'm on 95 KSJ. Playing today's hottest country every Monday through Friday between 10 and 2. And I want to thank you so much for listening. We got our August ratings in yesterday. I don't know that I've ever had numbers on a radio station like that before. So thank you so much for listening to me on 95 KSJ, especially you ladies. Now let's see. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Let me go to the Uncle Henry Show voicemail. Do have a voicemail to share from the retired Mad Trucker.
Hey, Uncle Henry, LD, retired LD. Look at here. The credit card companies are charging more and more. I understand that. But if you notice what the gas companies are doing now, they're doing the same thing that the trucking fuel companies used to do now, is they charge 10% more if you use your credit card versus cash. I thought we were wanting to go to a cashless society, and then now we're being charged more for using cashless devices. Well, that ain't going to happen with me, brother, because I went and I got me about $500 out of the bank. And I tell you what I'm going to do, Uncle Henry. I'm paying cash for everything. Mrs. LD said that we use a credit card in Mississippi and for dinner, and they charged us 10% more for use of the credit card. So that's it. You wanted me to go to a cashless society? It ain't happening now, brother.
LD, thank you for bringing that up. I've noticed over the last year, I guess, more and more I'll go to a business, and a lot of them are small businesses. In fact, one of the local pharmacies I go to for my various ointments and peels, last time I picked up my ointments, I noticed there was a different price for cash versus card at the pharmacy for my special ointments. So yes, I'm seeing it everywhere, LD, as well. And isn't that weird that we have been encouraged to go cashless, and at the same time, many businesses are charging you more when you don't use cash? So I don't. Maybe is this just businesses trying to find a way? We had runaway inflation for several years. Is this just a way for local businesses to try and close that gap of their eating the cost? But LD, thank you again for your voicemail. Voicemail number 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. Now, before I'm out of time in this segment of the Uncle Henry Show, I want to mention to you that on the Uncle Henry Show Facebook page, there is a link that I have shared on the Uncle Henry Show Facebook page about a fundraiser. The Out of the Darkness Walk is coming up this month in Daphne. The Out of the Darkness Walk is about suicide prevention and awareness. And I have joined a fundraising team. I'm going to be walking in this walk in Daphne, October 12th, Sunday, October 12th in Daphne. The reason that I'm involved in this is my wife, Michelle, when she was a 9-year-old child, her father took his own life. And he left behind a wife and 2 kids. My wife, who was 9 at the time, and her younger sister. And I can see how that has reverberated through her entire life till today. And I'm sure that the same thing happens with every family that is touched by suicide. It is just the pain. I'm not going to try to quantify it here. The people that have lived with it, that have either had a parent or a child, God forbid, or a sibling or a close friend. I've lost a couple of close friends to suicide. People that I worked with and loved. And so I'm walking, raising some money. We're trying to raise some money for this. It is so worthwhile trying to prevent people from taking their lives and getting people the help that they need before they reach that point. So I've got that link on the Uncle Henry Show Facebook page. If you can donate a little bit, we would really appreciate it. I think it's a great cause, trying to help people, prevent them from taking their life. If you're in a situation where you cannot help financially, or you've already given to other very worthy causes, and there people around here give a lot of money to charity. If you can't help us monetarily, could you share the link? Would you mind just sharing the link and letting people know that this event is happening? We would really appreciate it. Again, the Out of the Darkness Walk happening in Daphne, Sunday, October 12th. You can find the link on the Uncle Henry Show Facebook page, and I thank you in advance for any consideration you'll give it.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Will they ever be able to soften the rhetoric and diminish the vitriol? Congressional leaders are struggling again to lower the temperatures in Congress after the murder of Charlie Kirk. As a veteran congressional reporter, I lost count at how many efforts I've witnessed to, quote, try to lower the temperature around Capitol Hill after a national tragedy. It never really happens. Members sought to quiet things after 2 Capitol police officers were shot and killed in 1998, but things soon reverted to the norm. The same with 9/11. But members were again at each other's throats after a while. A gunman killed 6 people and seriously...
YouTube viewers, thank you so much for looking at the show on YouTube. I'm turning the camera off. There's still more show to come. I'm contractually obligated to provide more. But I'm turning the camera off. It'll be back on tomorrow at the regular time. Thank you for looking, and have a pleasant tomorrow and evening.
...to them to keep it there, and they rarely do. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Clay Travis says he hates murder. Solidly anti-murder. That was actually their headline. Everybody in America should say, hey, I'll sign on to that.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Weekdays at 11 on News Radio 710 WNT.